And here we are with episode 6, In with the New. This will be the final episode in this series. So, right now we're going to focus on getting all of the wires and the chassis and the parts placed inside the hilt. The last episode we did our test, we got everything worked up. Since then I have loaded the sound card with the latest beta that allows me to have multiple fonts, accent swings, blaster deflection, and lockup. So this is a Saber video. Let's go ahead and start with listening to the updated board, and then we'll kind of take it apart and get it put in there. So we'll pull the kill key. We have our smooth swing and accent swings. And of course clash and blaster deflect, lockup. And all the color changes work as well.
You have something I want.
Okay, so everything is solid there. Put the kill key back in. I'm going to remove the SD card because I'm going to be soldering the board again. And I'm going to place that in the baggie for safekeeping. And the next thing I'm going to do is pull out the battery. Added a little pull tab here to make it easier to remove. Let's pull that, and then it rises out. And whoops, pull this side too, and pull. Okay, set that aside. Okay, so what I'll need to do, and like I said, it's always best to have longer wire than needed. So the LED is going to rest here, about right there. And notice how much length I've got there. So I'm going to shorten these wires just a little bit so that way it only comes out to about here. And the reason why I want as short a wire as possible is the more wire you have, the more it's going to bunch up inside the hilt and make things tight. So I want to reduce that size a little bit. So I'll need to take off those LED wires there, shorten that, and then reattach to the board. And that should be all I have to do. And then I'm going to run those wires down from the emitter, resolder from here, and then run this wire up through the switch, connect it there. It should be good to go after that point. Then I'll secure the speaker with some hot glue. Make sure that that is in place and doesn't move. And strap the board down real good. Make sure everything is looking nice. I might glue those wires over. We'll see for appearance sake. Alright, so first step, reduce the length of this wire. So I'm trying something new here. I detached the LEDs and everything from the board, and I decided to braid the RGB wires. One, this makes it easier to feed all the wires down through the hilt, and two, when I go to push the chassis into the hilt, this can twist and compact more easily and take up less space rather than having all three wires just going all over the place. So this makes it much neater and easier and more clean to feed and pack everything into the hilt. This is the first time I've tried this, and I've actually never braided before. I just took a guess and it worked out pretty well. So I'm pleased with that, how that turned out. Not too tight, but notice how easily that can move and bend. Very pliable. So now all I have to do is just insert that down through the hilt. Hopefully it's not going to get caught on anything. It can guide fairly easily. Yep. Push, push, push. And then once I get that out the bottom, I can reattach it to the soundboard. Okay, folks, we are just about there. So I have gone through and cut my LED wires to fit. I also connected the switch wire to the power from the inside. I glued down my wires over here to just kind of keep it clean and in place. I also glued in the speaker. So I think at this point everything's clean, everything looks wired up correctly. Now all I have to do is just feed my switch through. I went through and I did weather the bezel a little bit because before it was just solid black, and so now I went ahead and weathered that just lightly, and that will look much better against the hilt. Okay, so I'm going to insert the bezel in there. As I was saying before, I'm going to reach in and find the switch. And there it is. This makes all of this much easier. There it is. So now I take that and connect. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this out just slightly so that way that has a little give. And kill key is in. Let's insert our battery. Always double check, make sure that positive is positive and negative is negative, because you get that wrong and you're going to see some smoking wires and fry that board up. Okay, battery's in. Let's get our SD card in there as well. Okay, SD card in. I won't glue the switch down until I've done a test and check and make sure that everything fits and works properly. Okay, let's pull our kill key. Okay, so far so good. Push that chassis in. There's going to be a lot of wires in there, so it might be a little snug and tight. I probably should have twisted it first, putting it in. Here's our pommel. Okay. Again, you know, ultrasabers, they don't tap for the retention for the LED, so I'll need to do that. Probably put it somewhere around here. But for now, that's in there. And before we fire that up, let's go ahead and put a blade plug in there. An old Saber forged reactor. Okay. Lock that down. Be patient, Maul. We're almost there. Again, that switch is not glued in yet, so. Okay. Blade plug there so that LED doesn't fly out. Push that back in. All right, here we go. Boot and
something I want.
That's the LED you hear rattling in there, so I got to get a retention screw there. Okay, so this build is just about done. Last step is going to be to glue in the switch there and then tap a retention screw for the LED, and after that this is good to go. So I want to thank all of you for, if you've stuck around from episode 1 all the way to the end, I want to thank you for all of your support and watching through this. This was an effort done for my subscribers, so this was fun to do, and more on this in a bit. So this wraps up the series. The saber is now complete. The circle is now complete. I see you've constructed a new lightsaber. Indeed, you are powerful. So I want to thank all of your support for this series. It was a pretty big endeavor for me, answering some of the requests of the subscribers, and I hope that you enjoyed this series. And it was fun putting it together and just letting you step into the world of Grey Paladin a little bit and how I construct and put my lightsabers together. So I glued the switch down. I did put the LED retention screw in there, added a reactor blade plug on top, and what's nice is when I screw the pommel in, it holds the chassis in place so it doesn't move or spin around in there. So this is a pretty quality build here, weathered and set up with a verso soundboard. All I have to do is just pop it right out of there, pull the kill key, screw in my pommel, and this saber is ready to go. So there it is. I didn't plan it out, but I did this series in 6 episodes. And you know what else finished in 6 episodes? Swear, did not plan that out, but it's pretty awesome how that worked out. The Force is indeed strong. So my next video, I'll do a close-up review of this lightsaber so you can really see everything in there. But if you follow along in the series, you pretty much got a lot of close-ups already. So if you went around for the full ride of all 6 episodes, I thank you very much for your support and all the likes and the comments. Please keep them coming. I really appreciate it. That's what keeps me going. So thank you very much for watching, and may the Force be with you.